What's up, everyone? You're here with Goran, and thank you for joining me here for your free picks for Sunday, January 14th. Well, guys, I would say that Saturday was fairly successful. We've hit some nice free picks as singles that we had. We hit some nice free picks in the French League One. We did well in La Liga as well with Athletic Bilbao beating Real Sociedad. Betis got a nice win, which was a crucial one for our parlay of the day that we had. That was the last pick that we were waiting for, which means that we hit that parlay as well. For once, VAR was on our side, and it took the goal away from Granada that would probably give them a 1-1 draw. Bundesliga on Saturday was not that great, to be honest. Only one game went over 2.5, and that was Borussia Dortmund game. They have beaten Darmstadt 3-0 on the road. But we move on to the Sunday, guys. We do not have as many games as we had on Saturday. I was actually surprised to see only two games on the schedule in the EPL. I'm not sure what's happening with that, but I spoke too soon yesterday by saying that we're gonna have a busier schedule on Sunday than on Saturday. So I do apologize for that. But once again, there will be another parlay of the day at the end of this video. So stay tuned until the end, guys. Feel free to check out the rest of the free picks up on the YouTube channel. And of course, for my best bets, click the link in the description, and that will get you up to my page where you can sign up. As we usually do, guys, we are going to kick it off with the EPL. And after the EPL, we have that Spanish Super Cup finals between Real Madrid and Barcelona, another El Clasico. This one is being played in Saudi Arabia, though, so there's no home field advantage or something like that. But let's get this show on the road. Everton versus Aston Villa is the first game in the EPL to talk about 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And Everton is now without a win in their last 5 games. They have 4 losses during those 5 games. But we know that they can score goals. We know that they have been doing it quite consistently this season, and I feel like they will score here against Aston Villa at home. Sure, Aston Villa has been far more consistent. Aston Villa is still fighting for the top of the table. They are in third place right now. They are on a two-game winning streak right now, and they have been scoring a lot of goals this season. They have scored 43 goals in 20 games. That's an average of over two scored goals per game. However, when playing on the road, they are conceding almost 2 goals on average, and that is going to be a chance for Everton in this game. So, with all that in mind, guys, I'm going to take both teams to score an over 2.5 to start the day, and that is at minus 105. The second EPL game is between Manchester United and Tottenham. That's 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time game, and I think this was going to be very interesting. Now, let me ask you this: is it justified for Manchester United to be plus 150 favorites? Maybe they should be favorites. They are the home team. Okay, I get it. But plus 115 to Tottenham's plus 210 being underdogs, I just don't see a logic in this one, to be honest. Tottenham has won 5 of their last 6 games. They have been scoring goals like crazy this season. And I know that they're missing a few players like Son, who went to the Asian League, Asian Cup. We have Sar and Bissouma, who went to play to the African Cup of Nations. And they still have a bunch of injured players. But Manchester United hasn't been that good this season, and they have scored only 22 goals in 20 games so far. Defensively, they have only been a little bit better than Tottenham this season, and at home, they're actually conceding a lot more than they're conceding on the road. When Tottenham, on the other side, is scoring over 2 goals on average when playing on the road this season. Even without Son and Sar and Bissouma, this is still a fantastic team with a lot of great players, and I think that they can definitely get on the scoreboard. I don't think it's going to be a problem for them. And I know that both teams to score an over 2.5 seems like a logical pick here. I would definitely take it. I could see it happen, but I wanted to give you a different pick, and for that reason, I decided to take over 10.5 shots on target between both teams combined at minus 150. If anything, these two teams have in common is the lack of defense. And on top of that, Manchester United has a very bad goalkeeper. Whether Onana will be playing or not, I'm not even sure what's happening with him for this game. But the defenses on both sides have been absolutely horrible, and I think that's going to allow a lot of shots on target for both teams. So United versus Tottenham over 10.5 shots on target at minus 150. Now we are here to talk about Real Madrid versus Barcelona, El Clasico in the Spanish Super Cup. Barcelona has beaten Osasuna in the semifinals 2-0. Somehow they kept a clean sheet. I just don't see it happening here against Real Madrid. Real Madrid and Atletico had a heck of a game. It ended in a 3-3 draw in the regulation and then went to the overtime where Real Madrid scored two goals in the last 2 or 3 minutes of a game to get that 5-3 win and to advance to the finals. Sure, they will be probably a bit more tired than Barcelona is simply because of those additional half an hour of play, but they haven't lost any of their last 20 games. They are on a 6 game winning streak. And sure, Barcelona might be playing pretty well right now. They are on a 3 game winning streak as well, but it takes them a lot of chances to score a goal. And when you're playing a team like Real Madrid, the team that is pretty stacked up, the team that's fairly healthy, and the team that it's a great goal scoring form, that's going to be a problem. So, like I said, I don't think that Barcelona can keep a clean sheet. I don't think that Real Madrid will keep a clean sheet as well. And for that reason, both teams to score an over 2.5, minus 102. That's going to be my pick for this game. Off to Spanish La Liga, guys. The first game is between Almeria and Girona. And Girona will be looking to keep their nice winning streak alive. They are now in second place with 48 points, but with a win here, they will be getting back to the top of the table, and they're still undefeated on their own this season. As far as Almeria goes, they are in the bottom of the table, by far the worst team in the league. They haven't won any of their last 9 games, still without a win at home this season. And they have been conceding a lot of goals, 43 goals in 19 games. That's a lot of conceded goals, guys. They simply don't have the defense. And when you're facing a team that's averaging over two scored goals per game on the road, which Girona is, we simply have to take Girona to win and over 1.5 goals at minus 128. If you are braver, take them to win and over 2.5. That's going to be nice plus money. But I'm going to be a little bit conservative here, and I'm going to take Girona to win and over 1.5 goals. Cadiz and Valencia is the next matchup in Spanish La Liga. And I think this was going to be fairly tight and fairly evenly matched. Sure, maybe Valencia deserves to be the favorites that they are. They are actually now on a 3 game winning streak, which is going to be a huge confidence boost for this team. While Cadiz hasn't won any of their last 8 games, however, they have 4 draws in their last 6 games. And when playing at home this season, Cadiz hasn't lost a lot of games, only 2 games. They have 2 wins, 5 draws, and 2 losses. And they have conceded only 9 goals, which is 1 goal on average per game. And you have Valencia on the other side, a team that has been averaging only one scored goal per game when playing on their own this season. And even though they are in such a great form, I think that if anything is going to happen in this game, it's going to happen in the second half. So in this one, I'm going to take first half draw at minus 118. Off to the German Bundesliga, guys, where we have 2 games, and the first one is between Bochum and Werder Bremen. Now, these two teams are fairly evenly matched this season. They both have 16 points in 14th and 13th place. However, Bochum has been a lot more consistent leading up to the Christmas break. They got a couple of wins, and in a few friendly games they played over the last couple of weeks, they also got a couple of wins. So they're coming into this Bundesliga return with a solid form, with a solid goal scoring form as well, facing Werder Bremen, who is still winless on the road this season. Like I said, I think this is going to be a fairly evenly matched game, and I think we're going to see definitely chances on both sides. But I decided to stay away from the sides and the goals, and I decided to take Werder Bremen over 3.5 shots on target, minus 128, simply because their line is lower than Bochum's line is, which is over 4.5 at a decent price. I could see both happening, to be honest, but I'm simply going to take Werder Bremen over 3.5 shots on target at minus 128. Borussia Mönchengladbach and Stuttgart is the next matchup in Bundesliga, and you know what? I don't think Stuttgart should be such massive favorites here in this game. Simply because they are missing 4 or 5 players who went to play to the Asian Games and the African Cup of Nations, and Guirassi is one of those players. Who is the best player that Stuttgart has this season, and he has scored 17 goals in 14 games. Now, you can't tell me that the team, sure, it's not only Guirassi, but the team that has a player like that, and now all of a sudden they don't, should be such a big favorites like Stuttgart is, especially when playing on the road. I think that Borussia Mönchengladbach will have a say in this game. And yes, they are missing a couple of players as well because of the suspensions, and also Itakura went to play for Japan. But they have more depth now than Stuttgart does, and they are playing their best football at home this season. Overall, best football offensively and defensively. And for that reason, I think that Borussia Mönchengladbach could have a say in this game. So I I'm gonna rather take goals, and I'm gonna take both teams to score an over 2.5 at -133. As you can tell by the price, the books are kind of expecting it as well. I think that both teams to score is priced at like -170 something. Over 2.5 is -200 or something like that. So the goals are expected here. Let's just hope these two teams deliver. In the Italian Serie A, guys, we are going to kick it off with Lazio versus Lecce matchup. That's the first game of the day. Let me just see what time that is. 6:30 a.m. Eastern time, and Lazio is now on a four-game winning streak. So I'm not gonna overcomplicate things here. Lecce hasn't won a single game on the road so far this season, and with Lazio's current form, I simply have to take Lazio on the money line, and that is -154 at the moment. Fiorentina and Udinese are facing off as the next game in Serie A that we have to talk about. And Fiorentina was able to beat Bologna after a penalty shootout in Coppa Italia, but before that they lost to Sassuolo 1-0 when playing on the road. However, Fiorentina at home and Fiorentina on the road are two different teams, and they are much more effective when playing at home. And on top of that, they're facing Udinese, who is a solid team right now. They are in a decent form, but they are conceding about a goal and a half on average when playing on the road. I like the over 2.5, and that's what I'm gonna go in this game. It's plus 105 right now. I love the price, guys. You know that I will try to take over 2.5 as much as I can at nice plus money, and this is definitely one of those games where I like it. Whether we hit both teams to score or not, I think that Fiorentina on their own is definitely due for an over 2.5 game because their last seven games have gone under 2.5. So that streak has to end at some point, and I think that it will end in this game. So Fiorentina versus Udinese over 2.5 goals. And to finish the day in Serie A, we have a big matchup between Milan and Roma. And honestly, I think this could be a coin flip game. We have seen the draws, we have seen Milan, we have seen Roma winning, we have seen over 2.5, under 2.5. Both teams to score has hit in the last seven games between these two teams, and I think it's gonna hit here as well. That might be one of the picks you might want to look at both teams to score. But we have an interesting situation because Roma can't stop conceding cards right now, and I don't think that's gonna stop in such a big game like this one is. So I decided to take the cards in this one, and that is over 5.5 cards at -143. In that game against Lazio in Coppa Italia, there wasn't a single card in the first half of that game that Roma played, and then in the second half they got like three reds and there was like six yellow cards or something. It was an insane second half, so it's never too late to start getting cards in the game. And I think this is going to be one of the games where both teams will be a little bit rougher and they will be forced to make those extra fouls to get those cards in. So over 5.5 cards in Milan versus Roma. In the French League One, guys, I picked two games to talk about, and the first one is between Le Havre and Lyon. Lyon is the team on the road here, and that Christmas break came at an absolutely wrong time for them because they were playing really well. They were able to get three wins in a row, and they actually kept four clean sheets out of their last four games, which is actually quite shocking to me because this team has been in such horrible shape prior to that I was shocked to see the way they have played. As far as Le Havre goes, they have a couple of wins in their last three games. They played their best football at home as well, especially defensively, where they're conceding only one goal on average per game while scoring just over a goal on average. So they're not that good of a team, let's be honest, especially offensively. But neither is Lyon. And for that reason, I think that we're gonna see a highly competitive game between these two teams. Lyon has a little bit more quality in the attacking end, but they are missing a few players who went to the Africa Cup of Nations. Lovren is suspended because of the red card. Le Havre has a few suspensions as well, a few missing players, so the depth will be a problem probably for both teams here. And for that reason, I'm going to go with both teams to score at minus 125. And for the last pick of this video, before we get on to the parlay, guys, we have Lens playing against PSG, or is it Lens? I do apologize. Lens versus PSG, and I'm going to keep this one very, very simple, guys. When I looked at the roster, it was exactly what I expected it to be. Lens is missing 4 or 5 players who went to the African Cup of Nations and the Asian leagues as well, Asian Cup, sorry, Asian Games, whatever they are called. PSG is missing a few players because of the injuries, and Hakimi has gone to the African Cup of Nations. Uh, uh, Kang In has gone to play for South Korea to those Asian games. They have a few injured players, but this is a team that has Mbappe, that has Dembele, and this is a team that has Colomboani up front. They still have Gonzalo Ramos as well, and I don't think PSG will be the team who will have problems with the depth in this game. It's gonna be Lens, and I know that they have been in great form, but at this price that we are getting, I simply had to take PSG on the money line. It's minus 108. It's gonna be probably a tight game, but however I slice it, however I turn it around, I see PSG getting the win here on the road, and they definitely would need to play their one of their best games of the season to get it, and I think that they are in good enough form to do it. So I'm taking PSG on the money line. And the parlay of the day, guys, another one. After hitting the one on Saturday, let's hit this one on Sunday too. It's a bit smaller one. It's plus 343. Another five-legger. United versus Tottenham over 2.5 goals. Real Madrid versus Barcelona, both teams to score. Borussia Mönchengladbach versus Stuttgart over 1.5 goals. Feyenoord versus Nets in the Netherlands over 2.5 goals. And Benfica on the money line in the Portuguese Primeira Liga. As you can see, we expanded a little bit to two other leagues in Europe, the Dutch Eredivisie and the Portuguese Primeira Liga. But I do like this parlay as well. I'm going to go with a full unit on it, and let's hope we hit this one as well. So United versus Tottenham over 2.5 goals. Real Madrid versus Barca, both teams to score. Borussia Mönchengladbach Stuttgart over 1.5 goals. Feyenoord versus Nets over 2.5 goals. And Benfica on the money line. That's it, everyone. Thank you for joining me here. These were free picks for Sunday. I hope you had a great Saturday, guys. Good luck with all of your evening bets on Saturday. Good luck with all of your bets on Sunday. And of course, stay tuned for more free picks coming up soon.